Hi all! Today in this video you can hear the grumpy raking the leaves in the background, and what I'm doing is I'm picking some rose hips to make the preserves. I'm only going to pick about 2/3 of the rose hips. I'm not gonna pick all because I'm going to leave some for wildlife that is coming to our garden so that they have something to eat in the winter time. The picking is really not that difficult. All you do is you make sure that you pick after the first frost has passed, and all I do is I pick the firm ones. The rose hips are from Rosa canina, or wild rose that we left to grow in the garden so that we can do some preserves. And this is it. Quite a nice batch of rose hips. The next thing on today's agenda was to clean up and tie blackberries for the next season. This year we had a load of blackberries, and in my next video I'm going to talk about everything that we have preserved this year from the garden. It's not much, but it still is something, and one of the preserves were actually frozen blackberries and the blackberry jam. It's delicious. So I'm going to start by clearing all of the dead and dying wood from this year. So everything that has had flowers on it, has bloomed and has the remnants of the blackberries is going to be taken out completely, all the way to the ground. I'm just going to start slowly from the top and then move my way to the bottom, and I'm going to make sure that the new growth that's been growing this year, these are the branches that still have leaves, are left so that I can tie them and that they produce the fruit next year. Because blackberries, especially this variety that I have here, produces only on the second year old wood. Now that I have cleaned as much as I can, I'm going to take this giant branch, which may look like not really a lot of blackberries, but there are some other blackberry branches that are tangled in, and I'm going to tie all of the blackberries to my blackberry trellis. I'm actually going to do it so that the blackberries, the standard variety, are all tied in one direction, which will make them super tidy and easy to pick, much easier than the last year. And I also have here a little bit of Japanese blackberries or raspberries. They're also sometimes called red blackberries. I'm going to tie them in a different direction so that they get a bit more sun. The first year that we were here, I didn't even know that we had this variety in the garden because they were almost choked to death by the usual thornless blackberry variety. When it comes to the standard blackberries, I'm going to use, I'm tying them using some wire. It is actually a special binding wire that you can buy, these little bits of wire. They look like wire rings. They're coated in green plastic so that they don't hurt your plants. And they are sold as rose wire or something like that. Rose rings. And they're super easy to work with, and I reuse them year after year after year because they are very stable. They don't hurt the plants. The plants are very easy to tie them up, but you could also use a string to tie them up. I used that the first year. The first thing that I tie is the big branch, and then I am also tying the smaller branches. When I'm done tying my blackberries, or when I'm done tying most of them, I'm also now going to start with my Japanese blackberries or raspberry bushes. Now these have much more flexible, thinner branches that I can simply just wrap them around the wire. In case I have a bit tougher branch or thicker branch, I'm going to use my ties simply to tie it in a place where I want it to. When I have tied my Japanese raspberries or blackberries, I was done with this area and it's really looking magnificent. I'm very, very happy how it's looking. There is a branch of 4 blackberries on each of the levels and it's very pleasing. While I was taking care of the rosehips and the blackberries, Grumpy was taking care of the leaves in the garden and he's now filling our bag for the leaf mold. Thank you for watching and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.